So, first thing we started with was the Historian's Dilemma, which apparently was a game they played last season on Quincy Mall as well, and kind of similar to games that have been played on the regular show. And it was basically a time test to see how much you remembered from the game in the past.
These questions were actually absurd because we were not told to prepare or anything like that.
A lot of the questions on the Historian's Dilemma were just simple in theory, like first names in alphabetical order. I did fine. And then we came to last names, and I couldn't remember Colin's last name.
There were some sort of memory tests to remember who won specific challenges, who was voted what during the first impressions task, and whoever completed the quiz in the fastest time, including penalties for wrong answers, would win an exemption.
It doesn't matter if you win by an inch or a mile as long as you win. So I won by 10 seconds. That's all I need. So
pissed that I lost to Colin by 10 seconds. I think that Colin knew what was coming, and so I was trying to learn a bunch of facts, which ended up not being on the Historian's Dilemma, but Colin kind of knew what to prepare for because he had been there before, and so I think that more than explains the 10-second difference.
The challenge was we'd be locked in the cube with 7 different riddles, and we were basically, obviously the cube's really quiet, so only 2 riddles at a time would be played, and each riddle, once solved, would point you to the call number of a book located in the cube, and we had to find it, and within the book would be a ticket to leave, and we'd have to hop on the Zane train once we got that ticket.
And basically you could then determine once you found the ticket who should get the ticket to then go wait for the Zane train to get them. The only way the challenge would be successful is if all of us got a Zane train ticket before time was up and then got on the train in due time.
But we wouldn't win a clue because we had forfeited our right to win the clue.
The first clue was kind of saying, I think it was 170 is great, but 180 is divine. Talking about the 99th percentile, which is an allusion to an LSAT book. So you go to LSAT books, find the ticket, and move on.
So one by one we would leave, and the best thing was that we could get rid of people who were bad at solving clues and riddles, and we could just get rid of them so they could just go hang out with Zane. And each ticket had a time on it, so it would say Mather or Winthrop or Lev Towers or something like that, and you'd have to go and meet Zane by that time. So basically we were trying to solve riddles as fast as we could to make sure that people were going to meet Zane at the right stop, because if they missed the stop and she ended up leaving to the next one, you would end up losing the challenge.
I don't know what's going on. I was very confused. So I left because I wasn't going to be any help in there.
All the boys.
Lots of time. What happened to Scott?
It says the courtyard near the bell. What is that? The bell's right there. Oh, I didn't know.
Perhaps not going to the right bell, in the courtyard of Lowell. That was ambiguous. There was still a bell that's at level. And that's kind of suspicious.
Do we miss anything?
No, we're good.
what happens? What's happening in the cube? Jason and Jordan.
Jason actually left before I did.
So it's just Jordan?
Yeah. Wait, where's Jason then?
He's 6. I think I have 5.
Oh, okay.
I'd be the beast with the clues, so
she's really good at reading, apparently.
I was like,
well,
she
you
found
can't trust
4
her,
books,
obviously.
so.
Mine was 6, and then I left before you, so I'm sure you messed it up.
Oh yeah, no, we were good. Mine is
I found 2 clues, I'm not leaving!
Yeah, mine's Velvet Ignorance, but Jordan found it. The last one is moles and moles and moles.
Well, how appropriate.
But apparently, we were allowed to ask people for the last 2, so we started asking people.
I think someone is not as nice as she pretends to be, and there's a little bit of the pot calling the kettle black.
Shit, that's real.
I psychopath.
She wouldn't tell us where she was finding
I
any
don't
of the
understand
clues.
what the use of was not telling us where you found the clue was. She was just don't worry about it.
Oh, you guys are so slow. So as the Zane train headed home to the Quincy Cube, Jordan was emerging from the cube, and the hosts were looking at Zane was looking at her watch and said something like, "You have 15 seconds left," and we were all motioning toward Jordan, please run, because we didn't know she hadn't solved the clue at that point. But yeah, so the last clue was a mole is a mole is a mole is a mole.
Cracked under pressure.
Do any of you guys know what it would be?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Do you guys? Does anybody know the reference? Like, am I just a fool? If it was in Gertrude Stein, I mean, Republican, I don't know.
I think Jordan got the first one or two, and she used that as justification to stick around to the very end, saying, "I'm so good at this, I should be here to the end so I can solve all these riddles." Then we all found out that she failed when she was alone in the cube. She was unable to solve the last riddle.
We would ask her, like, "Oh, so where'd you get this clue?" She's like, "Don't worry about it, don't worry about it. We're just on to the next one." We're like, I mean, this is a time challenge, but it wasn't, I don't think it would have taken that long, or it would have been that hard to let us know, like, "Hey, I found the found the clue in this book."
Really stoked to like help out and be a really contributing member of this challenge. And all of a sudden, Jordan's like, "Here, take this," and she like shoves it in my face, and I was like, "I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do with this?" She's like, "Just leave." And I was like, I didn't want to leave, and everyone else was like, "Jordan, you can go." And she's like, "No, I already solved 2 clues, 2 riddles, so like, I'm staying."
I got the 3rd clue, maybe, or 4th, and I just left with my clue because Jordan was forcing people to leave. She wasn't gonna let anyone but her be the last one there, and I mean, a lot of good that did us, we still lost. And she even admits that she had the right answer but couldn't find the right book, which I think is really sketchy, because if you find the right clue, like, how do you not find the book? Like, you knew it was Gertrude Stein, why didn't you look her up in the card catalog? Like, it didn't make sense to me.
I dominated those clues. I solved 3 out of 6 clues, and the last clue, I don't think anybody else would have solved anyway. So, people said that I was being bossy, but I think I was actually just being skilled.
So we had to do a survey about like who we thought was most attractive and who we thought other things about other people. I don't remember. The attractive ones sticks out of my. Oh, nicest also. Yeah.
So, for the challenge, I received an email from the mole via the hosts, and it just said basically, I was voted the nicest contestant, and if I were able to act against type and get someone to call me out on it, like by calling me a jerk, then I would win a special clue that helped me discern the mole's identity.
Yeah, she didn't do a very good job. I guess she's too nice, but Colin Jones couldn't do his last year either. She was just being more like, you could tell something was up because she was just kind of being over the top, and she called Jordan a bitch, I think to like make us think she was a bitch, and it just like wasn't gonna, like, I was just like, that's just not a word you usually use, and I like noticed it right away. Yeah, like her stomach through the puddles was just like annoying. It wasn't really mean, it was just like annoying.
Please let me stay in one more round.